Are you the same as a cow, Tony?
I think a lot of people would say yes, Dan.
Yes, you are.
I think you should have picked a different mammal.
They don't want you taking off that shirt and seeing all the black and white spots.
Moo.
Wow, that's actually pretty good.
I spent a lot of time in the Midwest, Dan.
Wow. See now, why
I've seen my share of cows.
Why can't you do that with you? Why can't you use that vocal chameleon skill in any other way?
Yeah, give me an example. I'll do it right now.
Well, you can't do voices.
I can do voices. What kind of voice? Set me up.
A New Yorker.
Hey, I'm New York. What's the matter, you?
New Jersey strong.
I'm across the river. What are you gonna do?
Hey, watch him with Dan and Tony. Hey, watch him with Dan and Tony. It's like watching, yeah.
Welcome to Hey Watch It with Dan and Tony. I'm Dan.
I'm Tony.
On this show, we talk about a movie. The movie in question this week is
Kraven the Hunter.
One of those crazy Sony Marvel movies where, since they sort of own Spider-Man, they also sort of have access / ownership of all of his villains. And so they make Venom movies and they make Madam Web movies. And so then they were like, you know what we could do? Spider-Man's greatest foe of all time, Kraven the Hunter. We can turn him into a good guy and have him battle bad guy. He's not a bad guy. He's a good guy.
He's not a bad guy. No. He's like a poor man's John Wick, right? He's got a list or whatever, and he's taking people off the list. Even though I never saw a list. A list. One time he says, "Oh, you're on my list."
Yeah,
what's going on with that?
He found that book in that guy's desk, and he said, "That's the list."
But the list had already been mentioned.
It's like the bonus list. It was like a.
My old list is full. I got a new list now. I got too many lists. I don't understand this movie.
Yeah, John Wick. The John Wick movies, action packed,
are great. Oh yeah,
really good movies. And you watch a sad movie like this, and you're just like. Go watch the John Wick movies.
Go watch any movie. I'm going to pitch a movie at the end of this that you can watch for free, and you should watch it over this movie any day.
Have you watched the trailer for the Ballerina movie?
I have not yet. Is it good? Yeah.
She's okay because she was in that one James Bond movie, Ana de Armas.
Sure, yeah.
And she was so good being an action star. You're like, then they were like, who are we going to get? And they were like, her, because that one segment in that one movie. And you were like, yep, they chose that's all you correctly.
Need. Is she the one? Oh, she's the one in Ghosted with Chris Evans. Remember that movie? Did we do that movie?
We did not do that movie because I've not seen that movie.
It's bad.
She's the woman. She's in Knives Out. She's the niece or whatever.
Yeah. No, okay. I know who she is. Yeah. I love that movie.
Yeah, I don't.
Did you watch the teaser for the new one? Something about dead people or.
I'm trying to think if I watched the teaser. I don't.
Waking a Dead Man. What is
I don't know. I saw the cast and I'm like, that's the movie I'm most excited about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Wake Up Dead Man. Yeah, pretty close.
It's gonna be so good. It's gonna, just got to ignore that first one. The first one was like a trial run.
I mean, they're very different movies. So I'm excited to see where 3 lands on the spectrum.
Yeah.
But this household loves them both equally, but separately. You know what I mean?
Sure. They're very different. And the first one's fine. It's a
great movie.
Had a couple of things in there that I did not like, and then it just. I don't know, the second, whatever. But we're talking about Kraven the Hunter 20.
Are we? I think we're doing our best not to talk about Kraven the Hunter.
2 hours and 7 minutes. We're like, wow, okay.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I didn't necessarily get super bored during this movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I was pretty bored for most of it. Here's what I'll say. Is this we were kind of chatting last night while we were watching it, the wife and I.
Yeah.
And it's not the worst movie.
No, not at all.
We've ever done. but it might just be the most bland movie we've ever done.
It's up there. It's about as vanilla as you get. And as you watch it, like certainly the first 10 minutes, the setup, I just sat there afterwards and I was like, you needed to make that 17 or 20 minutes.
Sure.
And you needed to make it good.
Well, I mean, good would have been great. Even if they kept it at the 10 minutes and they made it good, I would have been at least okay with it. I still would have been like, I'm still not quite where I think I should be with where we're going for the rest of the movie. But at least it would have been entertaining. That would have been something.
They should have just, sit in a room, watch John Wick. I watched one of my favorite movies is that movie RRR, which is a Indian action adventure movie. I went back and I watched some of the emotional scenes in that and some of the action scenes in that. I mean, that movie, if I watch the emotional scenes, I just start crying. I'll just start crying. Every time I watch it, it gets me every time. And then you watch the action things and you're just like, they get me every time. I'm just like, oh, look at that happen. Oh, look, that's happened. And you're like, you got to have that in some part of your movie because you can watch you can steal from these other movies, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing special in what I'm going to wrap a cable around Rhino and then have him pulled by wildebeest to death. You're like,
which confused me.
Oh,
because I thought he was super heavy. I thought he was super heavy, Dan. Is he not super heavy? Because just minutes before, our lead guy goes, gosh, you're so heavy. And then he's fine to get pulled around like a rag doll.
Well, that literally kills, spoilers, that kills him.
Yeah, sure. With his tough exterior and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah, don't worry about that.
You're like,
he's fine.
Wait, what?
The grab will cut him up pretty good, okay? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, these wildebeests are stronger than the rhino. It's superhuman.
I don't know. I mean,
if the Hulk was because the rhino, one of my prime childhood comic books, it's Hulk versus Rhino. And Rhino can beat up the Hulk.
Sure, right. So that doesn't make any sense in this world. That doesn't make a lick of sense.
Normal animal, normal sort of beast animal can kill.
Just destroy him. Quickly. Made quick business of his body.
Okay. Kraven the Hunter.
Oh, we're starting over. Damn it. We were just at the end.
End of the show. We start with the Russian music. We see a truck on an ice road. There's prisoners. They're in a chain gang. The one prisoner, somehow they're not chained together, and he just sneaks off to take his own piss. You're like, that's kind of nice. Yeah. That's,
it's honestly not the worst prison I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's like wandering off. You're like, I don't think that's how it works. I don't think you're allowed to just wander off.
Okay, but come back. Come back in 5. We're watching you.
Hey, get to the prison. Everybody's very excited. New meat, do meat, do meat. New meat, not do meat. They're going to probably do the meat and it's new meat.
Yeah, they're going to do it. They're going to do it real good.
We have this great ugly guy up in his cellmate. He's like, I don't like cellmate. I ate my last cellmate for my dinner. And he's like, well, don't eat me for 3 days. 3 days. Give me 3 days. You're like, okay.
Deal.
This could be interesting. Something about 3 days.
It's not. See, it's not good. The problem is it's not going to be interesting, and they fooled you.
Does it take him 3 days?
I guess it must because the guy stands because when he's running away, the guy stands at the window and goes 3 days, and he's all excited. So
it was 3 days. We didn't really show 3 days happening, right?
No, we didn't show 3 days, and maybe he's just saying, yeah, you did it under 3 days, but it's unclear.
Yeah,
it's unclear.
He's kind of like, 3 days. You would have been mine in the 3 days.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like it's been 6 hours.
Yeah.
He works out in the yard for a little bit, and then he escapes later. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's 1 day work for sure.
There's 2 guys in the prison yard. He beats up 2 guys, and so then they're like, okay, since you beat up 2 of the guys, you got to see the boss. And then he's just like, boss is like, I'm the boss, and he's like, I kill people like you because you're a gun runner. And then he kills 3 guys in a room, one of which with this tooth of a tiger rug.
Yeah.
And then he runs away. He gets out. He pulls like this whole bar thing off and climbs wall. And
it doesn't look right. You know what I mean?
No.
The physics of the CGI never works for me in this movie. That's it. I don't know.
The parkour looks okay at times for me. It goes from okay to not okay.
Right. Yeah, I'm not saying it's zero.
Yeah.
But there's just like there's moments where you're like, I don't like it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old and I just want practical effects. I don't know. I'm over the CGI nonsense.
Everybody always talks about the Daredevil shows. I haven't watched them, but there's like, I gotta watch this. I'm gonna watch them at some point. But
you gotta watch episode 2, the hallway fight. Holy buckets, Dan!
And that's what they explained. And we were watching one of those. Isn't there a Tom Cruise Mission Impossible where breaks out of the prison at the beginning of the movie?
Yeah.
He's like
incredible stuff.
Got his guy on the thing. He's like, open the doors. He's like, I'm not gonna do it. He's like, open the. He has a whole plan. Yeah.
He does have a whole plan.
This thing is just like, I'm gonna get in there and I could just pull bars apart and do whatever I need to do.
Crawl around and flip up to something. He like grabs the bar and then flips up. I don't think that's how anything works.
Yeah. And you're just like, if you'd have designed this better, it might have been a good movie.
Here's what I'm going to say right now.
If you'd have made a good movie, it would have been a good movie.
Made a good movie, this would have been an okay movie. 15 years ago, I don't know what the real date is. 15 years ago, a wonderful television show debuted. It's called Arrow on the CW, which has dirt cheap budgets. And they do a scene where Oliver Queen is escaping a similar type situation, and he's doing parkour all over this place. Yeah. And it's so cool because not that it's Stephen Amell, but there is a stunt person doing flips off things. Walls. He's doing shit, and you're like, this is cool. It doesn't cost that much to do that. Like, this could have been a cool scene with somebody doing some remarkable stuff, because there are crazy humans out there that could do a lot of stuff. And it's just felt lazy to me. It's just like, okay, well, we're just computer animating him flipping through stuff. I don't care. That's not all that impressive to me.
Care. We don't care. And there's nothing intelligent about it, right?
Nope, not at all.
There's nothing that you're like, oh man, he knows what's happening. He like looks at his freckles and say, 1 minute, because he knows what's happening.
Great.
You got to show he's somehow smarter than everybody,
because he is apparently, quote, the greatest hunter on the planet, end quote, or something like that. He never shows me that he's a great hunter.
He
never once.
Well, he only shows you in that he has expanded powers, right? He's a superhuman.
Which now I have a problem with.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. I understand that he has powers in the comic from a potion that he has to continually drink, not just once and then is good for the next 50 years. But isn't he a great hunter before that happens? Like, the whole point is he's like the world's best game hunter. Right? And then gets powers and then becomes like the greatest hunter in the universe. And then wants Spider-Man because he's like the biggest game in town. Right? Am I misremembering?
You mean it's almost like you could have had a scene where you show that he's actually good at the thing that we're supposed to believe he's good at?
Instead of a scene where he looks at a lion and then they kind of fall in love and then the dad shoots it and then he gets his ass kicked. I was a little confused. Shouldn't he be a good hunter at some point in the movie?
Now, did he? Well, we're going to get to that in a second. No, I agree.
All right, sorry, I'm jumping.
We don't set him up as a great hunter. You know why we don't set him up as a great hunter?
Because he's not?
Mm-mm.
Okay, what's the answer?
What are you doing hunting?
What do you sit and you track. Those are the two things that I've done in hunting. I mean, I'm not a tracker. Let me be very clear.
What does a real hunter do, Tony?
I sit in a duck blind
that's what you
or
do.
a deer stand.
Talking about a real. So the real hunter that's sitting next to you, what do they do?
Well, yeah. So I'm reading a book in the stand.
You're reading a book of poetry.
My dad is is doing I ran Matilda. That was the last book I read, and that was the last time he took me hunting. We were in the duck blind, and I was reading Matilda, and like ducks came over, and there's 3 blinds in a row. People are shooting, pow, 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 and I'm just reading my book, and my dad fucking flipped on me, and he never brought me hunting again.
And that's exactly what's supposed to happen in hunting. You're supposed to kill animals. And you cannot have.
Now I'm understanding what you were saying.
You can't have animal killing in a Kraven the Hunter movie, right?
Right.
Only bad guys can kill animals. He can't kill.
Only bad guys. That's right.
He can fight. He can fight it. I'm the world's greatest fight animals to a standstiller. That's what he is.
Until they get bored and go do something else.
She's been here her whole life, and now she's leaving me. What?
Well, yeah, but he's not supposed to be a good guy, right? He's not. Is he an anti-hero in the books? I don't remember this. The only book, let's be clear. The only book I actually remember is The Last Hunt, right? Kraven's Last Hunt or whatever, where he takes over as Spider-Man.
At the end of that?
I mean, he gives up, right? He quits. I don't know if he's really dead.
No, he commits suicide, and then his ghost is floating around. That's I read that.
Is that right?
I didn't remember it.
It's been a minute. All I remember is he temporarily disables Spider-Man with like tranquilizers or something, and then takes over as Spider-Man and kills people, and then thinks he's better than Spider-Man, and then gives Spider-Man his life back, something like that. I don't know.
He's got to show it,
and then apparently might off himself. I don't know.
So yeah, Kraven. That's that whole little series there redeemed him in a lot of ways, right? Because he looked really good. You were like, oh, okay, he's actually doing a thing.
Yeah.
As opposed to just being like the guy that Spider-Man or Hulk or whatever is beating up on at the time. Right. Yeah. Which is what Mark talked, whatever. But yeah, he can't hurt animals. You can't show him shooting an animal, stabbing an animal, eating an animal, because it would ostracize a huge amount of his population and kill 1 million people, right? He could like push a button and 1 million people died, and people would be like, well, he was trying to do some good.
Right.
Right? And so like picking him as your guy, it's very dangerous.
It's a tough sell. Yeah, it's hard to navigate, and they didn't do a great job.
No. So boom, boom, boom. He gets out. He scales the wall, runs into a blizzard. There's a wolf. He looks at the wolf and intimidates it. He's like, "Arr!"
Now, does his eyes turn a different color?
I guess so, yeah.
Now, does he control animals?
He can kind of.
Does he communicate?
He can kind of intimidate.
Is he like a Doolittle?
He can kind of intimidate them, and
he intimidates. So he's like, I'm the alpha, like that sort of thing.
Sort of.
Because I'm confused on why later the bear kills the dad. We can talk about it later.
Because the bear hated the dad in general.
Oh, okay. Because the bears have feelings. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, that guy that tried to live with the Grizzlies ate him one time.
Wait, what?
There's a real Werner Herzog movie called Grizzly Man about this really kind of wacky guy who moved up to Alaska and, I'm with the bears, and he'd go out where the bears were, and mostly the bears, put up with him,
tolerated him. Yeah.
But with grizzly bears, sometimes you get that male that's like, "Fuck you,
get off my lawn,"
or I'm hungry, and at one point one of the
and your meat. So I'm just gonna. Today's the day, bud.
One of the big males got sick of his bullshit and just killed him.
Gee, oh my god!
Yeah,
that's terrifying.
It's a great movie.
It doesn't sound like a great movie. It sounds like a pretty sad movie.
So he goes and he gets on a plane where this faceless woman that'll fly him anywhere in the world, and somebody pays for that fuel. I don't know.
Do we meet her again?
Yeah, she comes. She flies him a couple later in the movie.
But as in any other
she's faceless. She just
right. She's always facing out the window, and we're looking through the cockpit, right?
Yeah.
We don't know who she is.
No.
That's all I'm trying to.
Matter.
Okay.
She's like this faceless magic thing.
I feel like it should matter.
Nope.
Maybe not right now. Maybe in the sequel, but it feels like it should matter a little.
It's a comic book movie.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Matters. Sorry. You're right. We don't want to pay a real person, so we'll put an extra over there and just dub some lines.
She takes off, and then she like, you know what happens? He takes off his shirt for Tony.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not a big fan.
Really?
Of Aaron. No, we could talk about that if we want to, but my God, I mean, that body is wow. Woo.
Now, who is this guy? I never heard of him.
He's Bullet Train? He was
in Bullet
He was
Train?
in the running. He was in the running for Bond. Like that was like his big thing recently. Is like people were pushing for him to be Bond, and I think that's the worst choice you could ever make in the world.
Who was he in Bullet? Who was he in Bullet Train?
He's one of the thugs, right? Am I thinking of the right?
I don't think he's in Bullet Train because Bullet Train. There's the two British guys, and then there's the girl, and then there's another.
Yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson in Bullet Train. He's Tangerine.
He's Tangerine.
That guy? I don't. Yeah, I mean, he's one of the guys on the train.
He's not.
Fights with Brad Pitt.
He's not a big buff guy in that. He's kind of a.
No, he bulked up. I'm assuming for this movie, and he did a wonderful job.
Yeah, I thought he was a good actor. I thought he was good.
I mean, he's fine, right? I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's charming. That's my problem. Not that he needed it in this movie, right? Like they're obviously not going for charming in this movie. I don't know what they're going for, but I didn't get charm. But I just, I don't know. I don't get that tingly feeling.
I got dangerous bad boy from him.
I guess. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't get enough bad boy from him. Oh.
I don't. I get kind of like, limp noodle.
Jesus, Tony. Okay, we have the titles. Oh, we find out that what he did was that prisoner, he switched with him when they were taking the pee break. That was the whole bit.
Right.
You're like,
okay. That was the bit, which is, it's something that could happen when you let your people wander off into the wilderness.
I was like, okay, that surprises me.
Sure. It surprised you first when they let him wander off and go to the bathroom alone, but it's fine.
And then we have the titles. They spent $12 designing the Kraven logo. I'm like, what is this? This is Times New Roman? What's happening?
I mean, it's Times New Roman.
It was terrible. It wasn't Times New Roman, but it was just like plain white.
It was very, student film.
It was very student film. 16 years earlier, we're going to meet his family. He's got a brother, Dmitri. The mom committed suicide. Dad is overbearing Russian.
And she really did?
Yeah.
You're getting that, right?
Yeah, she was crazy. Yeah, she had mental problems.
I don't get it.
And abuse problems. Abuse and mental problems glued together.
Yeah, he's an abusive guy. I just figured there'd be a twist on that at some point because they keep talking about it. And, she was weak. But then it just turns out that that's kind of true, and it's really sad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I expected a twist of some sort. I didn't get it.
Yeah. He's got a brother, Dmitri, who's weak. He's strong. He's weak. They go on a hunt with Dad, Russell Crowe. He's an overbearing drug lord. I didn't get anything from him. I got nothing from him.
You got a Russian accent, though.
Yeah,
right?
They got a Russian accent.
Yeah. Pretty good.
They go on a hunt. They go to Ghana. We meet this girl, Calypso, who's the one who's going to administer the magic potion to him.
Yeah.
Very good.
She's in the comics, I assume? I don't remember her.
Yes, she is. And she's a evil voodoo priestess in the comics. And sometime Kraven girlfriend.
She's voodoo definitely priestess. Not evil. She seems pretty good in this movie.
Evil voodoo priestess.
No. You can say it, but that's not going to make it true.
We find out that there's like one big dangerous lion out there that everybody wants to get. We meet this Nikolai guy Alexei guy who is being weird, and we don't understand who he is, why he is. He's like, I want to be your friend, and Russell.
Right. How did he get on this hunt? Like, I don't.
Russell Crowe.
Did he just show up?
One of the richest men in the world. Random dude gets to come with them.
Right. It's just like, oh, you brought a friend. Okay. Well, we didn't discuss that when I gave you $8 million to track this lion, but that's fine.
They go out to look for the lion. The boys hang back. Here comes the lion around a bush. He's like, rawr. And then Kraven's like, I'm going to think about you. And then Dad shoots him. And then the lion eats Kraven and then
some of them
freely carries him away. And no one follows them.
Well, I mean, listen, they shot him 4 times, I think. So if that didn't work, nothing's gonna.
He's on.
All right, you just got to let it go. Cut your losses.
They only brought 4 bullets. Is that the thing?
That's it. We're like, well, I guess let's go home, everybody. Pack it in for the day.
Everybody's only got 1 shot. We only brought 4 rifles. So he, let's see. Calypso just randomly knows to get out of the Jeep and go to where they're at.
Well, because she's an evil voodoo priestess, right?
The lion wanders off and she gives him the magic potion. Then she wanders off, but she gives him one of her tarot cards so that he knows it was her.
Right, or something.
He gets medevaced. They go to the hospital. At the hospital, he dies, but then 4 minutes later, the potion finally kicks in, brings him back to life.
So here's my question, right? He's dead for what, 3.5 minutes or something? They say 3-4 minutes.
I said 4 minutes, but that's
But I mean, he was pretty much dead in the field there, right? Like, I mean, he was slowly dying for like 45 minutes, and then finally died, and then finally got rebirth. That's a really slow potion.
Well,
that's my only
didn't start working until he died. If he'd have lived, it wouldn't have had to do anything.
But that can't be true because isn't it what gives him the powers?
By the power.
I'm so confused.
Doesn't matter.
Of Grayskull? Are you doing He-Man?
I don't know why they had to kill him.
It's not like a rejuvenation potion, right? I don't think.
Maybe.
I don't know, Dan. I don't know.
Dad gets there, the boys are there, and then Dad like yells at him, "You screwed up. It's your fault you got bit. You got to live with yourself."
Yeah. Classic deflection, you know.
They go back home. There's a letter from Mom. Mom says, "I'm killing myself, but you should be a good person."
But don't let it bother you in the slightest. Enjoy your life, boys.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
And Dad brings him in. "Oh, fear. One day you're going to be in charge of this. But you're all scared, so stop that. And I got you a present, the lion's head. But he should have killed you."
Right. So that's quite a roller coaster we just went on there.
Here's a present. I wish you'd have died.
But you're going to be the leader soon, so toughen up. Love you, boy.
So he's like, "Well, I'm packing my bag, putting bubble gum in a bag, and I'm getting out of here."
Yeah, great.
And he packs a bag and tries to run away from this boring plot line.
Now, do you feel like we needed any of this? Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, obviously there has to be a little bit of exposition, but this is I'm so bored.
This is pretty.
With this flashback.
This was really boring.
It's brutal. It's not interesting. I don't care about anyone in the scenes. I'm not like, oh, this poor boy, I hope he grows up to be the greatest hunter in the world. What's happening? I don't care. Go cry in the corner, dude. Jesus.
He takes a tramp steamer. Oh, he has to leave his brother. And his brother's
which is pretty messed up.
"Don't leave me with him." It's like, right. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, no, come with me.
Peace out.
Like, we'll go together.
Oh, that's an idea.
That's a pretty easy fix right there.
Yeah.
Why would you abandon your little brother to leave him with an abusive father? You're leaving because of the abuse.
He can't leave because of piano lessons.
Pretty selfish. I got things to do. I'm sorry. You go. I'll be fine.
Takes a tramp steamer, walks across Russia, stands there. This is when I was like, wait a second. So there he is. He's going back to his ancestral lands, which I don't know. And he's standing there, and here comes the stampede of wildebeests.
Yeah,
he cowers in fear from the stampede of wildebeests.
He sure does. Yeah, and then what happens?
Hold on a second.
Okay.
What? I don't understand. Isn't this the point at which he becomes who he's going to become?
He's probably seen Lion King, and he understands that bad things are about to happen.
I mean, won't the wildebeest go around you?
Well, I'm only if one of them saves you by standing in front of you and diverting his friends, apparently, because that's what happens.
Is that what happens in The Lion King?
No, that's what happens in this movie. There's one that like approaches him and stands in front of him as he's cowering like a baby, and then all the other ones are like, "Well, let's not hit our brother. Let's go around." And then at the end, that one just trots off. I don't know.
I don't see.
I don't know. I don't know what it means.
This is the point at which you got to build the legend, right?
Well, they do not build a legend in this movie whatsoever. They just, once again, like the legend of Tarzan, they just tell me there's already a legend and I don't get to see it.
Yep.
Drives me crazy. Listen, folks, if you make a movie where there is a legend about a character, I better see the gall darn legend at some point.
He finds the family geodesic dome. It's in bad repair.
Okay. So this was already built? I thought he like built this from scratch.
He walked up to it and it was all fucked up.
I think I was laughing too hard from the wildebeest. Maybe does this happen right after? Because that could have been
right after. Yeah.
All right.
And then he figures out that he can outrun a deer, and then some dude come and kill a bunch of his wildebeest buddies, and then he kills them.
And then the greatest big game hunter in the world kills humans for hunting. I understand they're doing it illegally, and that's the idea, I think, is, they're poachers, so they're bad.
Did he kill all of them as a kid? I think he did. He killed them all as a kid.
Yeah. Yep.
How is he all good at this all? Just because he ran with the... See, the wildebeest should have awakened something in him, right?
Sure.
Like, they should have been running towards them, and he should have just stood there and then like, grrr, and then the one stops and like looks at him, and then then he walks over and then he mouth kisses it.
open mouth kisses. Open, there you go. There it is.
He like dominates it with his mouth.
And then we get the title scene. You know what I mean? That's what Kraven the Hunter.
The kisser. So we cut to present day. He's back home. His brother calls.
So he just has like a phone out in the wilderness. Where is this patch of land?
Oh, it's like in Russia.
Why is there a cell tower? Are there cell towers in the wilderness?
You'd have a satellite phone.
Oh, you think? Okay.
I mean, he's rich.
I'm not saying I don't believe you. I just is he rich? He ran away from home.
Yeah.
How does he have money? His dad isn't like, I'm going to cut this credit card off because it's from my son who ran away 10 years ago.
How does he pay for the gas on that plane?
I don't know. It's all weird. Nothing makes any sense to me.
So with that wildebeest thing, he killed 2 of the guys, but other guys got away. This time they're on his land and he's an adult. And so he's like, I'm going to get you. And he kills 4 guys. But once again, he lets guys get away. He's not the greatest hunter. He's letting guys get away.
He might just be a little lazy, Dan. Like, once they get a head start, he kind of just goes, I'll get them later. Oh, that's what the list is. The list is just people that he was too lazy to kill on the day. And he's like, I'll get you later. I got to go get a beer.
I'm going to kill you later. So the one guy gets away. Now he's back in London. And the guy's going there to tell his boss that they correctly hunted wildebeests in Russia for a reason.
Unknowable reasons. It doesn't make any sense.
I'm the poach king. Poach everywhere.
I'm the poach king. That's a cool character name.
So he walks in there to see the boss, and boom, Kraven spins around. He's in the chair.
With just a giant crossbow. Just the biggest crossbow you've ever seen.
It's like, where's my boss? And he's like, you're standing in him. Now, did he pick up his feet and blood dripped off of him? Like, really cool?
No, not really cool. There's just like a line of blood under his feet already.
I'm sorry, but it
was not great.
You gotta pick up your foot, and then we gotta have a close up of that foot where there's just blood.
You gotta have a squelch sound when he picks up the foot, and then it's drip, 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 and you're like, oh shit, those are some guts.
See, but this movie's like PG light. We need a hard R.
Wasn't Venom R or is Venom not? Is Venom PG-13?
I bet you it's PG-13.
You're probably
They want all
right.
your little nephews to be seeing those crappy movies.
Yeah, it's PG-13.
So he kills this guy, and then he says, but the good news is your boss left me this big list of everybody that works for him and their addresses and their names and their emails and their bank routing information.
Is that the list?
No. He's adding all these guys to the list.
Okay, so he's just like an addendum to his list. Okay.
It's an addendum.
All right.
It's what he's just. I shall addend this list to my original list, and then I will have a super list.
Just tape it onto the bottom of his other list. It'll be great.
Calypso is a grown up. She's going to a funeral. He goes to the funeral, and he's like, I've been looking for you my whole life, and now I found you. And you're a lawyer who goes after bad guys, and then we can work together.
Right.
How did he find
what the hell's going on?
Did not like the girl playing Calypso. Thought the little girl was good. Did not like this girl.
Yeah, so this lady's been in a couple of things lately. She was in Pool Man, I think, as well.
Really?
I'm not crazy.
Was she the lawyer? She was the lawyer in Pool Man, wasn't she?
Yeah, I don't even remember Pool Man. Do you remember Pool Man?
Yeah, that lawyer comes there to make him the offer he can't refuse. And she's like pretty
sense.
hot.
Yeah.
And he's all like, I'll have sex with you later.
There you go. Pretty good. Yeah.
Pool Man did not make any ripples in my brain for the most part.
Didn't do it for you, huh?
No.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I don't care for her. Yeah. She looks up then she goes back to her office, looks up all the murders he's done. They meet again, and she's like, I'm a lawyer, and he's like, I got a list, and she's like, join me, and we could kill a bunch of people. And she's all like, I don't know about that.
I don't know. It feels a little weird. Maybe she's not in Pool Man. Was I wrong about that?
I don't know.
I'm looking it over right now. It doesn't seem like she's in Pool Man.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
I don't know. I thought it was the same person. I'm a bad guy. She was in West Side Story. Does that help?
Oh, yeah.
And she was in Argyle. I don't remember that.
You saw that stupid movie. You said, "Oh, this movie's great."
I don't think I said it was great, but it was entertaining. It gets weird towards the end, but honestly, it's better than this movie. So there's that.
There it is. Now we meet Alexei, the guy that we saw earlier. That is the Rhino, and he fights with his own dog or something. It says that was like the weirdest part of the whole movie.
Yeah, he fights and then makes up and then it's like, I'm sorry, baby, your daddy's here. I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. It's not a clear-cut character trait, I'll tell you that.
I thought, he's going to kill his own dog just to prove he's a dick. I was like, please don't do that.
That's the surefire way to be a bad guy, but
and that dog never. He has that dog in the back later, and that dog never fights versus Kraven.
No, it doesn't do anything.
Why does he have that dog with him?
Just a sweet baby. It's probably really his dog, let's be honest. It's just the actor was like, I got nowhere to put him. Doggy daycare's closed for the day. He's got to come to set. I don't know.
I think they had all these things where they were like, this guy tries to sick the dog on Kraven. Kraven's like, boop, and then the dog attacks him, and then Rhino kills the dog, and then
is that a dog whistle? What was the boop?
It's like uses mind force. Mind force.
Oh, okay, that's a mind beam.
Beastmaster, you.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, so he's the Rhino. He's on the list. He wants to take over the bad guys. Oh, we have this weird scene, right? Because the guy in the prison had people working for him, so the Rhino wants to take over from them. So then the three of them come there, and he's all like, one of you's going to work for me, and then I'm going to kill the others. And you're like, why? Why wouldn't you just control
just
everyone?
Have all three of them?
Yeah.
The more the merrier when you're running an empire.
Yeah, typically, you're like, that. If you have three managers, you can't kill two of the managers because then two of your divisions are going to be headless. Yeah, like it's command structure, but it's a stupid comic book movie. I love comic books, but don't be a stupid comic book movie. John Wick, which is the least plausible movie ever, right?
Sure, yeah.
let's have a bunch of tattooed ladies that run typewriters, and then they do a thing, and then there's sort of rules, but there's sort of not rules, blah, 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 bullshit.
And yet you buy it because you're like, yeah, I mean, this is the world. And it's well thought out. It's well planned. It makes sense in itself. And I'm in.
So Rhino has a backpack. The backpack feeds stuff into him, so he isn't the Rhino. When he unplugs the backpack, then he gets all armory and hard, but it hurts. Oh, it hurts.
But it only seems to hurt during the transformation.
I don't.
Because once he's Rhino, he doesn't seem to give a shit at all.
Who knows?
So then why would just be Rhino all the time? You know what I mean? Because then you're always invincible.
Would you want to be Rhino all the time?
I mean, listen, he's already weird looking.
There it is. Right? He's already weird looking.
I mean, you might as well be cool.
He doesn't have a lot of riz as a normal person.
He sure doesn't, but imagine all the conversations people have. You walk around looking like Rhino.
That's true. People be like, come to our club.
Right? Like, come on, Rhino, man. Get over here.
Okay. So he takes over, he kills a bunch of people, whatever. Back to London? I guess it's London. Dimitri has become an emo piano man.
Yeah.
Did you want to kill yourself during this scene, Tony?
Not myself.
You want to kill him?
Maybe just a little.
Oh, it's so terrible.
Yeah. Oh, it's my son. He knows I love Tony Bennett. I don't trust anyone that doesn't like Tony Bennett. What's happening? What is going on here, Dan?
The bad guys try to kill Russell Crowe, but Russell Crowe fights them off. Dimitri hides under the piano. Dad got shot, but he doesn't care because he's strong.
So strong.
Back at the Rhino headquarters, Rhino acts weird, but Rhino has a video.
Rhino acts weird. I mean, you can say that for every scene that he's in. That doesn't describe the scene very well.
Rhino has a video of the prison thing, and there is Kraven in all his things. He looks at it, he's like, that's Kraven the hunter, but also Russell Crowe's kid. How does he know it's Russell Crowe's kid? Because he met him when he was a kid. I would never put that together in a million years. Never in a million years.
Sure. I understand that. This video for a guy that's like a myth. Everyone, he's a myth. But there's just a video that clearly depicts who he is.
Yep.
Right. Like facial recognition is spot on, and it knows that it's AKA the hunter. How did they know? It's all very confusing.
Yeah, it does the thing on the bottom, doesn't it?
Yeah, it says AKA the hunter. Like, what? What are you talking about? Facial recognition could name him, but so that means someone already knows he's the hunter and is like, yep, that's the guy. It doesn't make any sense.
It's AI, man. AI can do anything.
That's true. You're right. I went to CES. I know. AI could do anything.
We'll talk about that later.
Lots of AI at CES. There was this cute little robot that shakes your hand.
Yeah.
Does one of these things. Real cute. Yeah. Great stuff.
Wow, the power of AI. A thing that could shake your hand.
They had a robot that was basically it's like working at a movie theater and would take your order and then go pick up your candy and then bring the candy back. And then instead of handing you the candy, it would just like drop it. And I was like, this is not ready for prime time yet, but I love the idea.
That's what a robot does. It delivers candy to you.
That's what it did at CES.
I'm so fucking fat and lazy. I can't get my own fucking candy. This is what this is like. You know what? These idiots are watching Wall-E and are like, see, that's where
those idiots did a poll with people like me. They were like, "What do you want a robot to do?" I was like, "Well, I'm watching TV. I don't want to go to the fridge." So if I could have a robot that just went and got me a soda, picked up some candy on the way, and then just threw it on the ground in front of me, I would love it.
I want to spend my days making sure that stupid ass robot's plugged in and recharged so it can bring me fucking candy.
Gotta make sure, because if it's not ready when I need the candy, I'm sending that thing back full refund. Bullshit.
I was watching a Drew Gooden video where he's talking about AI and all the stupid things that they're having it do.
Yeah.
And it's like summarizing text messages.
Okay. I mean, those are already pretty short, guys.
Just what you need. I can't read 3 lines of text. Get her down to 1.
Just if you could put it in 4 to 5 words, that's my maximum. So just do your best.
But the best thing he had was it's a thing where it suggests something that you could write to answer a comment, right? So on his YouTube, someone's like, "I really loved your video. That I had this, and good job." And then it's gives you 2 choices of things it thinks you might want to say, like, "I'm an idiot. I'm stupid," right. And it's so funny because it's trained off of his own stuff, and he's such a smart aleck asshole. It makes
everything thinks that's
and he read like 30 of them, and they're all so terrible. It's just
I love it.
And I'm on the science fiction forum, and these guys talk about AIs like they're going to be able to do something, and you're like, no.
Someday it probably will.
But no, I mean, AIs are used for tons of things, but they all, you have to compartmentalize them and tell them exactly what they need to do and what parameters to look at it. Yeah. Could you make one that does answer something decently? Maybe if you really programmed it for a specific person and what they were trying to say, and you could do just like this. What does this robot do? It brings you fucking candy.
Pretty good use of robot for me. I don't know.
Yeah, like if you're...
Because it can tell the difference between different candies, Stan. That's what's amazing.
Is that what's amazing?
It didn't. I ordered a Snickers. It brought me a Snickers. Didn't bring me a Twix. I mean, that's great. Thank goodness.
So stupid. And then people think stupid ass Elon is going to do something with the AIs. You're like, oh my God, it's so stupid. Oh my God.
I love it.
Only thing stupider than AIs is the people that think that AIs aren't stupid. Oh, God. It's so moronic. Okay. Rhino has a video. Okay, now we go back to the prison and we meet the new character. Tony, talk about the new superhero character. Who is he?
Who are we talking about here?
There's only one more superhero in this movie. That's the one that's going to defeat Kraven.
Yeah. Yeah. Who is this guy? He counts? He's the Count Man? Is that what they call him, the Count?
Okay.
Is that his name?
This character is the worst character that's ever existed in the movie.
Does he... Okay, explain to me what the power is, because he takes off his glasses and he looks you in the eye.
Okay. I'd never heard of this character.
And then he counts to 3, and then by 3, he's gone? So it's like a hide and seek. Ooh, is his name Hide and Seek? That would be a good name for him.
Well, they said his name a number of times, Tony.
There's no way. Did they really?
Yeah, they said it.
Oh, the Foreigner. That's right.
That is his name.
But that doesn't describe him whatsoever. I don't even know what that means. This is stupid.
He's the dumbest character in the world. I got to read you his powers and abilities.
Please, give me something.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Lay it on me.
The Foreigner has no superhuman abilities.
Wait, no.
Hold on. It gets 1,000 times better. However, he has trained his body to be in peak physical condition. He is stronger, faster, more agile, has better reaction time than any Olympic athlete.
Oh, but not superhero. So just
hold on.
So on the level of peak physicality, he's above Olympic athlete, but below anyone with superpowers whatsoever, right? Because
hold on, he gets better. He is adept in all known forms of martial arts and most forms of conventional hand weaponry. He's among the greatest pugilists in the Marvel universe.
Hold on, I don't know the word. What does pugilist mean?
A pugilist, what's that? Fighter. Usually used to just mean used to mean boxer.
So like a hand-to-hand combat expert.
But, yeah.
Okay.
Similar in ability to Captain America and Wolverine. His skills are such that even without superhuman abilities, he's able to pull off seemingly inhuman feats of strength through intense concentration, and has even battled Spider-Man to a standstill.
No.
Hold on.
That's not possible.
He possesses a near mystic ability to place an opponent in a 10-second hypnotic trance through eye contact, which makes the opponent believe the foreigner can move faster than the eye can see.
Okay. But how does that happen? They don't tell you how that happens. He has no superhuman abilities, but he can hypnotize you with eye contact?
Near mystic ability. Hold on.
It's close. It's almost a superpower, but it's not because it's totally normal.
He has hypnotized Spider-Man in this fashion, which left Spider-Man disoriented or in a light trance for a few seconds, while the foreigner ran away at what seemed to be nearly superhuman speed. From Spider-Man's perspective, it appeared that the foreigner had teleported away. The foreigner uses his ability for evading enemies.
No, not according to this movie. He doesn't evade. He just kills people with it. So, okay, I'm confused.
And hold on. This is when I say I love comic books, but there is so much in comic books that is so stupid that if you're writing a movie, you gotta not do this. You can't take the foreigner.
Use this guy. This is not a guy you can use in any way, shape, or form. A near mystic ability to do something impossible. That doesn't make any sense.
It's a near mystic ability so that you can confuse people, so that you can run away.
Run away. Look over there. Superhero. All right. Well, so, I mean, here's what I'll say. They didn't nail that at all.
His name is The Foreigner.
Right. Why?
I don't know.
What does that have to do with any of the non-powers you just read to me? Nothing. It doesn't mean anything.
I don't know.
Where's he from? Does it say where he's from?
Okay, let me look. I didn't read that part because I didn't.
I'm just curious, like, if maybe he's from another country and they're just nobody could understand his name and they just call him the foreigner.
Foreigner won this wager in the prison for the says or Sabretooth. Blah 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 blah. He was what? He was formerly married to Silver Sable. He's a mercenary and assassin. Blah 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 blah.
I don't think anybody knows.
I don't think anyone cares.
That's probably true.
Oh, worst character ever.
I'm just gonna say he definitely seemed like he had superpowers in this movie.
Yeah. They made it seem like he could control people's minds and cloud them. I thought he was like the Mesmero or one of these, guys that had some sort of powers, but nope, he just looks at you and then.
You remember that movie Hypnotic with Ben Affleck? That's kind of what his power is, right?
Did we watch that movie or did you watch that movie?
We totally watched that. Maybe we didn't. I get confused sometimes.
See, I know you 100% watched that movie. I don't think we did that one.
Did we not do it? We probably should have done it. But that's fine.
I think I talked you out of it because it was so terrible.
It was bad. And the guy looks at you and then you're hypnotized and I think he can control you. I don't know. It's basically similar but different. Anywho.
So the foreigner goes there, figures out I don't know. Why does he even go there? He goes there and, he smells like the poison dart or something?
Yeah, some wildeberries or, some sort of special berry that he really likes. And he's like, I know where to get these.
Kraven goes to London for Dimitri's birthday.
How many times does this guy fly back and forth between Russia
a lot of times
and London?
He's
right,
on the move.
That's a lot.
On the move.
It's so expensive. I don't know.
Instead of taking
he might love animals, but he doesn't love the environment.
He does not love the environment. He doesn't take the stairs. He climbs up the walls. Then he surprises Dimitri while he was taking a shower.
In the shower. Yeah, it's all pretty weird.
He's like, I'm going to go all sweaty. But Dimitri's like, I've got a suit that fits you. Let's go to the club.
Why does he have a suit that is that big? He's like, oh, this one's too big for me. It's way too big for you. He is twice the size of you.
And that suit fits Kraven perfectly.
Beautifully. Oh, it looks perfect on that body.
They go there. They're having a good time, but you can tell Dimitri's traumatized, but he still wants Dad's respect. And they says, Kraven, you hate people. And he's like, I don't hate people. I hate what people do. I'm like, okay.
Sure. Great line. I bet he never said that in the comic books.
No. And then Dad shows up because Dad figured out that they were going to have this meeting.
Sure. Yeah, birthday.
I kind of like this scene. This was like one of the few. The brother scenes are the scenes that I kind of like.
Sure. I mean, well, you have two fine actors, just talking away.
It's interesting, and the dynamic of this kind of interesting with the dad showing up, and you can tell he's kind of pissed at the dad, but the Dimitri still wants the dad's respect, and you're like, okay, this is what the movie really needed to be about.
It's a relatable family dynamic,
have you watched that Penguin TV show?
We only watched the first episode.
It's like sometimes you need to shed away all this superhero garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. Because it's getting dull.
Yeah, it's getting dull. He takes drunk Dimitri up to his thing, and then Dimitri absolves him of being guilty about leaving him behind. Okay.
Yeah, well, great. And then he goes and takes a nap outside.
He has bad dreams when he sleeps in a real room, so he has to sleep in the park.
But so he has a bed.
No, he sleeps on the couch.
No, I'm sorry. Back at his house in Russia, he has a bed. It's not like he's sleeping outside in the wilderness back home.
But it's a geodesic dome where everything is glass. So it's like sleeping under the stars. And he probably...
But it's kind of not, because you're in the safety of a home in a soft bed and you got air conditioning. I don't know. It just seemed a little weird.
His bed might have just been canvas. Might have been like...
I know when he lays down and in the beginning, it looks like a pretty comfy bed. That's all I'm saying.
Might be made out of moss.
Peat moss.
Might be covered in wildebeest urine.
Sleeping in urine. Good point. Yeah, boy, I missed that.
Sleeping in urine. You got a lot of urine smells in the park. Mostly.
That's true. You're right. Feels just at home.
Mostly wino urine, unfortunately. Very stinky. So then he's like, oh, okay, goes home or goes back to see Dimitri again. I don't know why. Maybe he left his vest there or something. And they've kidnapped Dimitri.
Yeah.
Then we have this gigantic action scene where he runs a lot and tries to chase them and tries to catch them. And then they get in a helicopter and he throws a rope on it. And then he throws a spear through a guy. And then he gets dragged through the water until he hits a buoy. Boom! Yeah. And then they get away with Dimitri.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk about that, Tony. How much you like that scene. That set piece.
It wasn't the worst one in the movie as the action set pieces go. It's probably towards the top, if I'm being honest, because there's a lot of bad ones. And I enjoyed him climbing around the car. I thought that was, pretty cool for a little bit.
Yep. Did you like that there was a handlebar on the front of the car that he could hold on to very easily?
I was a little confused by it because I've never seen a car like that just has a windshield handlebar. But it worked out nicely for him, so he could hang on a little bit. I liked the part where the guy shot the window and then the guy in the front seat says it's bulletproof. That was funny.
That's a good joke.
One of the only times I laughed in the whole movie.
Good joke.
And that's 2 hours. That's a long time not to laugh. And then, he had his Captain America moment with the helicopter, but just so much worse. Yeah. Like, just give me the Captain America. Show me those biceps while he's doing it. This guy's ripped. Let's show it off a little bit more. He takes off his shirt a lot. I mean, the movie ends with him flexing his abs, which is 10 out of 10. But, let's sexualize him a little bit more. Maybe that would have helped me be more into the movie or into his character. Like if he was just a little bit more dangerous and sexy. But it's dull. I didn't like this.
He has no chemistry with Calypso, right?
I mean, he doesn't seem to have a lot of chemistry, full stop. But yeah, no, for sure not the two of them.
Yeah.
Are they romantically involved, do you think?
In the comic, I think it was like his girlfriend at some point.
I didn't get that at all from this movie.
No, she seemed like his like assistant or his, like, the person he calls on the phone and is like, I need some money. Well, I'm wiring you money.
Well, but she does it a little more begrudgingly. Like, she doesn't even seem to like him that much, I
saved your life. I saved your life. Spears a guy. He goes to see the lawyer while he's still wet, and she's all like, "Why are you coming here all wet?"
Which is it's a good question, because how far did he run? I feel like he would have dried off a little.
I mean, it depends on how cool it is. If the sun's out.
Yeah, you're right.
They're probably shooting
a lot of factors.
Humidity, a lot of humidity factors. He goes to see his dad. He finds out that they sent a ransom note. They want $20 whole million.
And it doesn't even feel like that. I don't know what his drug kingpin's worth.
Doesn't seem like a lot of money.
But 20 mil doesn't seem like a ton. No. I don't know.
Then he's all like, pay them. And he's like, if I pay them, I'm weak. I'm a drug dealer. I can't pay them. And this part I like. The dad's like gets all mad at him, and he's all like, blah, blah, blah. And the dad tries to like hit him, and he just like, he grabs the hand and just stops. Yeah. Just like that scene was shot really well. Just like, boom.
And that's that's like the fantasy of any boys growing up with a troubled relationship with their father. To get to that, boys love to get to that point where they're like, oh no, I could take you now. I'm to that age where I could fuck you up if I needed to. It's a good feeling. In the movie, it's a great scene. Don't look at me like that, Dan.
Okay.
I was agreeing with you. It's a good scene. Shot really well.
Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry. It's victorious. It's a victory moment. It's good. We're behind him. It's empowering. Good for you, Kraven.
They're roughing up Dimitri. He finds out that the bad guys have taken him to Turkey. He goes to Turkey, kills a bunch of guys, and they shoot a missile at the thing, which we had that in The Gray Man, didn't we? Yeah.
Have I seen Gray Man? No.
It's a Netflix. I don't think you ever watched it. It's like, I think it was.
It's the Russo brothers or whatever, right?
It was not good. Russo? It was okay. It was not good, though.
I don't know. Yeah. We canceled our Netflix. Did I tell you that?
Canceled Netflix?
Shut that shit down.
Why?
Yep. We're done. It's expensive, man, and it's the one we use the least.
Really?
So what's interesting? Our most Peacock is our most used, really? And then Max,
really,
and then Paramount, because Paramount's got some good movies. So we're just like, Netflix is done. It's out.
Cut the Netflix
until Stranger Things comes out, and then we'll get it back.
The Rhino. So he doesn't die. They think he's dead. He's not dead. Kraven lives. Rhino terrorizes Dimitri. Rhino explains his origin, which no one cares.
Not even a little.
Kraven goes back to his ancestral home, and then Calypso's with him
again,
and he has to fight a CGI snow leopard to show he's cool still
for no reason. No reason whatsoever.
I
thought they were going to be like friends. I thought it was like,
Well, yeah,
like
but he uses them later.
Yeah, but not in. I thought they were going to be like friends. Like, you wrestle and you wrestle. Because sometimes when I come home, my cat likes to swat at me and have fun. And then, we cuddle.
That would have been.
So I thought it was going to be like that sort of relationship.
That would have been so cute.
It would have been very cute. And I would have been like, oh, okay, I like you now.
Yeah.
You're my favorite.
That really would have been a good moment, wouldn't it?
Would have endeared you to him a good deal.
It would have been beautiful
but they didn't,
because we all have that relationship with that. Real humans have that relationship with animals.
Yep.
Okay. The bad guy smells the poison, figures out where Kraven's from because he couldn't have bought poison. You're only going to use poison from where you live.
Why? That's a terrible plan. Listen, if you're going to poison somebody, you're going to want to get a poison far away from where you live so they can't track it to you.
It's not.
You got to think a little, guys.
He's not thinking. we find out that Calypso can use a bow because she pushes the button to reveal his armory. So that later, when he pushes to reveal his armory to get ready, we're like, we've already seen his armory.
We're like, oh yeah, I know this already happened. Yeah, we don't need to see this again.
That was really a weird choice.
It's the wrong segment. I wonder if there's an earlier scene where he does that and they cut it.
No, because they totally, when the things come down, they shoot them like they're, when she does them, they're a reveal thing. Like, wow, I've uncovered his secret. When he does it, it's like, now it's exciting. And you're like, no,
now it's time to go to work.
You know, she's got to reveal, like, you know, his Naked Lady magazines. Like, he gets lonely out here in the dome.
Which he would. Unless.
So the bad guys have a nightmare gun. They show up. He uses the leopard to attack them. Dimitri escapes. He kills a bunch of guys with traps, but then they easily shoot him with the gun.
I want to just shout out one when he uses the bear trap on the guy's face.
You like that?
That was a 10 out of 10. Yeah. I wanted more things like that in this movie. You wanted
some serious Home Aloneing.
Well, it's Home Aloneing, sure, but just, you know, savagery. Because he's the world's greatest hunter. And I would like him to just go a little, you know.
And, you know, immediately, a
little dark. I'm
reminded of the James Bond movie where the bad guys chase him back to his ancestral home. And you get that's a great fight.
Yeah, 100%. Well, because it's his territory. He should be able to, like, run circles around him.
Nope. They just sneak up on him and shoot him with the nightmare thing, and he's like, I'm having a nightmare, and then Calypso just shoots the foreigner
this is why
in the head.
I got confused. He starts seeing spiders.
Yeah, spiders.
And I was is that Spider-Man?
Yeah. He's afraid of spiders.
The sirens are on our end, everybody, if you're listening in a car.
No, they're on my end.
The thing, yeah, sure. I heard them. I was just letting people know. Just in case, see. Sometimes when you're driving in a car. But then it cuts to his mom, and she's in her loony bin.
Yeah.
Also screaming, the spiders.
Oh, okay.
So why? I was expecting some sort of connection / reveal at some point to make that make sense, but maybe his greatest nightmare is becoming his mother and going crazy, because that never plays a part in anything else in the rest of the movie.
Nope. He never struggled.
I don't know, man.
If they had him actually struggle with mental health in this movie, that would be interesting.
Sure, yeah. What a thing to deal with. I don't know. Baloney.
I'm going to tell you something.
Okay, I want to hear.
Whenever a movie starts doing like flashbacks and like things are happening, I tune it out completely. I don't listen to it.
Oh, really?
I don't acknowledge it.
Interesting.
I don't acknowledge it as something that is happening in the movie I'm watching.
Because it's not, technically. You know what I mean?
Because it never adds up to anything.
Well, it should, though. It should. Otherwise, it shouldn't be in the movie.
Nope.
And anyhow, yeah, so, it's the foreigner, and he's winning. And then Kraven doesn't beat him at all. He just gets, surprised shot in the eyeball with an arrow.
Oh, and the one thing I did like was he's like, at one point, Kraven's punching the foreigner, and then it turns out he's punching a log. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that log.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. But he never has to overcome it, that was my disappointment with it.
Well, and they also set up that he says, this poison cures other poisons. And I was like, oh, well, that's what's going to happen. He's going to use that other poison, he's going to go for something and fix himself, which would have been nice.
Sure.
But they never did that, and Calypso just kills him easily. So,
yeah.
Where he was...
Great stuff.
He was
super anticlimactic.
He was neutralized easily. The bad guy was neutralized easily. So I guess it's even.
Yeah, there you go. They're both terrible at their jobs. And then we move on.
Then we have the big rhino fight, which he just keeps trying the same exact thing over and over. And I'm going to stab you with a knife. Knife breaks. You know what? My next plan will be to stab you with my other
2 more
knife.
Knives. I got 2 more right here, buddy. Yeah, that's great. Great stuff. Because they do. I appreciate that they put in a recognition. He stabs the first one, and then they purposely show a scene where he looks at the knife and is like, oh shit, that's not going to work. And then he pulls out 2 more knives. Great stuff. I mean, it's really, really nice that they put a nice little point on it. And it's like, hey, everyone, look at this shit that we're doing. So weird.
He finally figures out that the rhino's port on his side where he gets his magic juice.
His little blowhole.
He sticks a thing in his hole and then jiggles it around, which I'm telling you, if you poke something in somebody's hole and jiggle it around, that's the end of them, right? What it should have been was he should have just gotten a little bit in there and then he'd have to get like a hammer and start hammering it into him.
Yeah, is that what? Oh man, maybe it's a John Wick moment. I don't know. There's a movie where it's just like a knife is like slowly going in, and then he just has to like hammer, like boom, boom, and it just like goes. I think it's John Wick, and just like goes into his face, and it's so fucking visceral. But that would have been a great moment if he had to like keep working on this pipe inside. Like that's cool. That's a cool fight.
It's a cool fight.
This wasn't a cool fight. This was stupid.
Continuously attacking this one tiny point of
right. Like that's fun. Like Rhino's coming at him, and he has to like dodge, and then kapow, kapow.
And he picks up a rock.
A strategy. It's a strategy because he's the greatest hunter on the planet.
He sticks the rod in about 14 inches and doesn't really do anything. Then he
gets in there deep.
And then he wraps a cable around it, and then he ties the cable to some of the wildebeest, and then the wildebeest drag him to his death.
Just fling him around like a rag doll, and he's just slam, 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 even though he's heavy like a rhino. So dumb. Woof.
And that's it. So then we gotta wrap up. We're gonna wrap everything up. Wrap up. He goes to see his dad, and you find out that the dad was the one that sent the video to Rhino. So the dad wanted his son to fight his enemy, and it's like, okay,
all right. And then a bear attacks
because the dad's hunting, and then Kraven stole all his bullets, so Dad would have to learn how to fight how Kraven fights. Didn't give Dad super serum, did he?
No, he sure didn't. Doesn't give a shit.
That doesn't seem very fair.
See you later, Dad.
He doesn't. I don't know. He couldn't have fought that when he was a kid. He couldn't fight that lion.
No, he sure couldn't. He got chewed up.
So he lets his dad get killed. 1 year later, he goes to see Dimitri. Dimitri's hired a doctor to do doctor stuff on him, and Dimitri's taken over his dad's business, and he says, "You're worse than Dad. You're just another trophy hunter." And you're like, well, that's not really worse than Dad. It's sort of the same as Dad.
Not only is that not worse, but it's a terrible description because that's not the character. If that was the character of this movie, then I understand the movie. You know what I mean?
He's playing the Punisher, is what he's playing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But not Kraven the Hunter. No. But I like that line. I think that's a really nice last line to be like, yeah, you're not a good guy. But I just watched a 2-hour movie about him being the good guy and not at all being a bad guy. Nope. Doesn't make any sense. If he really was like, half doing it to get, revenge for his friend, but also half like, I need the kill. I love this. I thrive in this hunting and killing. That's what I live for. But like, I'm also using it for good right now, but also I'm kind of a bad guy. That's a wonderful dichotomy that I would enjoy watching. That's not the movie.
Like some guy asks him for mercy and he just kills him.
Sure, like, and he's just like, no, not today, motherfucker.
You're part of the.
I don't know what that was, but
he sticks a knife in his brain and scrambles his brain. That's nice, Tony. So the brother has gotten turned into the chameleon, so he could just turn into whoever he wants to.
Yeah, pretty much. Great stuff.
And then he's like, "I'm strong now. Go home, because Dad left you a present." And he goes home, and Dad has taken the lion and then turned it into a vest, and then also left him a crown and a mirror so that he could admire himself in the wearing the vest with the thing and the crown.
And it's like, what?
Because that's what
I don't understand.
Because that's what Kraven has. That same sort of real outfit.
I get that, but it doesn't make sense for the character.
What doesn't make sense? That he would sit there looking at himself?
Any of it. Like, why? Right. Like, he doesn't need the crown because he doesn't need to be the best. And he doesn't need the lion thing because he's sad that the lion's dead. He's not a big game hunter. He's not like, oh, what a trophy this will be. He doesn't like to kill animals. I don't know. It's super weird. But again, having said that, he's flexing those abs in that chair, and my God,
he looks good.
Pop, 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 pop. Yeah, he looks great.
So
really nice.
Not the worst, but not a good movie.
No, it's hardly a movie. I don't know. I'm hoping that we're done with these Sony Spider-Verse movies. I hope we're officially done.
We're never done.
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, here's what I'll say. We make fun of Venom a bunch, but at least it's fun. At least Venom is fun. This movie, it was zero fun.
Venom did turn into a fish and a frog.
He sure did. It was cool.
So there it is.
Great stuff.
I like the fish and the frog Venom. Yeah.
There you go. What do you like from this movie? Pretty much nothing.
I like this interaction between the dad and the two sons in the bar. That one.
Sure.
But then again, Venom didn't have anything half as horrible as when the kid played the piano. That was I just like no, very bad.
It's a low. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, maybe we're done with these. There's no more Venom. Well, there are not any more planned Venom movies.
Yeah. Well, you never know. We'll see what happens.
They're not doing Madam Web 2. I don't think they're doing Kraven 2.
I don't think so either. I think this did really bad. Where Venom at least made money, I don't think this made any money.
Okay, now we talk about something we like this week. I don't think I talked about this last week. I did a full rewatch on Furiosa.
No, you did not.
First time I watched it, I was like, this is a weird movie. Second time, okay. I'm like, this is a really interesting movie. It's really good.
Okay.
Really.
Okay, well, that's good. That's
just,
a good turnaround.
Just a really, this one's going to have legs. People, I don't think, because it's not the same as, because I think I rewatched the whole of Fury Road 2. And Fury Road is just, it's an incredible movie.
Supposedly it's very good.
Oh, yeah, you can't see it because you're afraid or something.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
Scared of seeing a movie. I might watch that movie and enjoy it. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm okay.
So, Tony, what do you got for us?
Well, so it's not. I'm not following the rules exactly, but Warner Brothers Discovery. I think it's all three now. They have been over the last month. They've been slowly releasing movies for free on their YouTube channel. I don't know if you've heard about this.
No.
So they're just releasing like old backlog movies, and some of them are great, and they're free with ads. But it's totally worth it. And one of them on there is Overnight Delivery with an old Paul Rudd, Reese Witherspoon rom-com, which is wild. And then the one that we watched is Mr. Nice Guy with Jackie Chan, and it's just. You watch a Jackie Chan movie and you watch something like Kraven the Hunt. This is what I was talking about. And you watch this CGI bullshit of him climbing up the thing. Jackie Chan could do that in his sleep.
Yeah.
All right. That guy's climbing up walls. He's jumping across buildings, breaking legs on like in real life. This guy, I miss prime time Jackie Chan so much. But it's a wonder. Like it's cheesy, silly movie, but it's great. And 90s action movies are just fun, man. They don't take themselves too seriously for the most part. It's just great. Anyhow, Warner Bros. Discovery releasing free movies on the YouTube. Go check it out.
There it is. You know what we need to watch next week, Tony?
I don't, but I'm excited to find out.
A really bad science fiction movie made by a big studio and starring Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Oh, God, you're not going to be able to watch this movie because it's on Netflix.
Yeah. It's fine. I'll figure it out. Which one is this? What year?
I have no idea.
Is it newer or older?
Newer.
Is this the Oblivion movie? Okay, all right, let's do this thing. Is that Morgan Freeman? Yeah. Is that who's in that with him?
I mean, this might not be a bad movie.
It's probably not a great movie.
I don't think it's going to be a great movie.
It's no. What's the good one? Live, Die, Repeat. Is that what it's still? Is that what it's called now?
I don't know what it's called now. That movie's.
I don't either. I love that movie.
That movie, 10 out of 10. Except the ending. Ending's dopey, but whatever. I ignored the ending.
I'm okay. Yeah, it earns it earns my forgiveness. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
totally cool with it. Wonderful.
It's very unusual for a movie to have a perfect first and second acts, but just kind of like whatever. It's fine.
Yeah,
third act.
Yeah, but by that time I'm having so much fun. It's just like, okay, cool. Yeah, let's do it again.
What's her name is so good in that. She is so good in that. Just moved herself up into the pantheon of the greatest female action stars of all time.
Has she? What else? What other action movies has she done? Has she done any more?
I mean, she's in those stupid Quiet Place movies.
Those aren't action movies, though. And plus, her husband directs them, so whatever. I don't know. I like the first one. That's the only one we've seen. So
terrible.
All right, so Oblivion. Let's do this thing.
Oblivion.
Oh, okay.
What are you saying?
Jamie Lannister's in this movie.
Oh yeah,
from Game of Thrones. What's his name? Nikolaj Coster-Waldau. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah,
Jamie. Yeah, my bad.
Good for him. So we'll be back next week. Leave us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. Subscribe. It's all things you can do to help out the channel. And hopefully Tony won't leave for another 2 weeks ever again. We'll keep putting out shows.
I hope not. Yeah, it was tough. It was a tough time in our lives.
Pretty dark.
Goodbye, everybody.
Hey, watch him!